Hey, hello. Good evening, everyone. Hey, Adeline, hello. Okay, welcome back to our January week 2 revision. Okay, so I hope you have your notes ready. Today we are continuing last week. Okay, we are continuing on our Form 5, Chapter 5. Okay, so I believe not many will be here as usual. Okay, so I think I stopped around here last week, isn't it? I stopped around this alcohol, I believe. Okay, we stopped around alcohol. You did all exercise your own. That's good. That's good. Good thing. Good thing. Okay. Anyway, so let's look at our fats today. Okay. If you finish your exercise already, then you treat this as a revision. Okay. No harm listening it for one more time. Okay. So let's look at our fats. Okay. So what is your fats? Fat is also fat contains carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Okay, they are the same as alcohol. If you look at the alcohol, your alcohol contains carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen as well. Okay, can you see CHO? And your fats is also CHO. This is why alcohol and fats, they are the same. Okay, I mean, they don't look the same, but same they can be act as fuel. You can use alcohol as a fuel. You can use fat as a fuel as well. Okay. Hey, hello, Stephanie. Good evening. Okay, we are in chapter 5. All right, so fat contains carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, and oxygen, basically CHO, same as alcohol. So fats provide energy for our body to carry out daily activities. Okay, you see, alcohol has the same thing, carbon, CHO. When you drink alcohol, you get fat. Fats also has CHO. When you eat fats, you get fat because they both contain energy, a lot of energy. Okay, so this is why drinking alcohol is as bad as eating fats. Okay. Anyway, let's look at the next one. What is saturated and unsaturated fat? Okay, so I believe you know this already because we learned this in alkane and alkene already. Okay, alkane is saturated. Okay, tepu, that means full. Okay, that means you want to add one more H. Oh, nothing to add already because everything is full. Everything is single bond. You see, every carbon has their 4 hands attached. 4 hands attached, everything attached already. There's no more place to add. So we call it saturated, tepu, which means full. Whereas this one, alkene is double bond. They are unsaturated. They are tak tepu, not full, because there's 2 more places here, you see? Okay, there's 2 more places for you to add hydrogen. Okay, that means they're not full. So same thing here. If you look at your saturated fat, okay, they are the full one, the full one, and then unsaturated is the not the full one. So similarity, they both contain CHO, they do not dissolve in water. Okay, important source of fatty acid. Fatty acid is a nutrient okay, acid lemak. Okay, the importance is the difference. Okay, I want you to think of it this way. Saturated, they are unhealthy. Okay, saturated, they are healthy. Okay, so tepu is tak sihat one, and tak tepu is the sihat one. So you look at the source, you will know saturated, they are most likely from animals. Okay, I'm sure your mom tells you not to eat too much pork whatever okay, any animal fats, okay, chicken fats, chicken skin is very bad for you. I mean, it's delicious but it's bad for your health. Okay, so unsaturated fat, they are from plants. Okay, this is why animals you call fats, chicken fats, pork fat, cow fat, but plants we call it oil, groundnut oil, olive oil, sunflower oil, because they are oil. Okay, so stay at room temperature, saturated fat, they are solid. Okay, as I said, you see the pork, if you eat bak kut teh, the pork is solid. Okay, so they have high melting point. Whereas for plants, they are liquid. Your mom's cooking oil is made from plant, right? So they are liquid and they have low melting point. Okay, so number of hydrogen atoms, maximum. Can you add some more hydrogen into saturated? No, it's already full. But can you add to unsaturated? Yes, they are not maximum. You can still add some more. The more double bond they have, the more you can add. Okay, not just have one double bond. Some has 2, 3, 4, 5 double bonds. If the fat is very long, Okay, so if they have 5 double bond, then that means you can add like 10 hydrogen to them. Okay, so addition of hydrogen atom, not possible. You cannot add already. This one possible, you can still add. All right, next example. So all these animal ones lah, chicken fat, cow or beef fat, goat fat, fish fat. Fish, I wish to say this. Fish, actually, you call it fish oil. It depends on the fish. But for healthy fish, like mackerel, like tuna, like salmon, salmon is actually fish oil. Okay, salmon is fish oil. Why? Because salmon is healthy. Okay, when you eat salmon, you don't really eat fish fat, you're eating the fish oil. That is unsaturated. Fish oil is actually unsaturated fat. Okay, they're like exception. They are like exception lah. Okay, besides that. Okay, so next, if you look at your plants, palm oil, coconut oil, soybean oil, do you know coconut oil has actually quite a lot of saturated fat? This is why your santan, okay, you know santan, right? Ghee is beef fat. Ghee, I think is, hang on, ghee is what fat? Huh? Ghee is what fat? Ghee is, goat, yeah, goat. Goat, yeah, not mistaken, it's goat. Okay, so anyway, if you eat santan, okay, if you eat santan, like your coconut lah, okay, so santan is actually unsaturated fat. Okay, so coconut is actually not very good for health. This is why they say old people, they cannot eat curry, because if the curry is made from santan, it's gonna have saturated fat, it's gonna stuck their heart. So in that case, they cannot use santan, they have to use fresh milk to replace the santan to make curry. Healthier version of curry lah. Okay, that's what they say. Okay, hang on. Yes, hello. We are in page, for those who just came in, we are in chapter 5, okay, the fat chapter, the fat part. Okay, anyway, so this is our saturated and unsaturated fat. Please kindly put a star here. I have mentioned this a lot, and I'll mention this again. Many years SPM, they have already asked this in essay. So this is a very common part to come out in exam. Okay, so please take note. Okay, because maybe they will come out with this thing again this year. Who knows? All right. So anyway, excessive fats on health. What happens when you eat too much fat? So saturated fat, as I said, the lemak tepu, the one with full hydrogen, the unhealthy one. Oh yeah, one more thing. Can you please add it here? Saturated fat has a lot of LDL. Unsaturated fat has a lot of HDL. This one is not mentioned here, but I like to add this here. Okay, so what is LDL and what is HDL? Okay, LDL is what we call the bad cholesterol. HDL is what we call the good cholesterol. Do you know cholesterol has good and bad as well? Okay, that's the thing. Yes, hello Jesslyn. Hello, good evening. Okay, anyway, we are in chapter 5. Okay, so LDL and HDL, what's the difference? Okay, LDL is the bad one, HDL is the good one. Okay, I'm sure you have heard your parents tell you, hey, don't eat so much egg yolk. Egg yolk has cholesterol, right? No, that is false. Okay, egg yolk, it's mostly HDL. They are the good cholesterol. Okay, hey, don't think that cholesterol is going to jam your heart like for sure. No, cholesterol is actually very important for making your hormones. Okay, we shall mention that later. So LDL is the one you want to avoid. So where do you get LDL? All the deep fried stuff, all the animal stuff, that is bad. Okay, so I don't really understand what's with the complaining of egg yolk. Okay, I don't know about your parents lah. Okay, mine, since I was growing up, they have been telling me the same thing. Don't eat yolks lah, yolks is bad for you lah, yolks has cholesterol lah. You don't see them complaining while eating McDonald's. You don't see them complaining while eating KFC. Okay, while they eat Hokkien Mee, okay, all the hawker center, they eat char kway teow, that thing has LDL too, has cholesterol too. Do you see them complaining? No. What's with the double standard? Okay, at least from what I know, egg yolk is a natural food. KFC is not. McDonald's is not. You don't see people complaining there. Isn't it a very double standard, a very funny logic? Oh, somehow McDonald's is okay, KFC is okay. Egg yolk, better not eat that. The thing will kill you. Really? Okay, I don't get the logic. Okay, so egg yolks are perfectly fine because it's HDL. Okay, so anyway, so saturated fat contains high level of cholesterol, which is the LDL, the bad ones. Okay, your cheese, your egg, your butter and meat. Okay, egg not so much lah. So you see, cholesterol is not bad. You need cholesterol. Why? You need cholesterol to build cell membranes. Your body's cell membrane is actually made from cholesterol. Even if you don't eat cholesterol, your body is going to produce cholesterol. How else are they going to make new cells? Okay, and then number two, synthesizing bile and sex hormone. Your bile, the thing you use to digest your fat, your sex hormone. For males, it's going to be testosterone, which makes me manly. For female, it's going to be your estrogen and progesterone. These two hormones makes your menstrual cycle normal. Okay, makes your period normal. Okay, so they are made from cholesterol. It makes you girly. It makes you healthy as a girl. You see, very important. And of course, producing vitamin D in skin that is exposed to sunlight. When you are exposed to sunlight, your body is going to use that cholesterol to make vitamin D. Vitamin D helps you absorb calcium. Okay. Yes, I know to make your bones healthy, you need calcium, but just calcium alone is not enough. You need vitamin D to absorb that calcium. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, excess saturated fat increase the level of cholesterol in the blood and affect our health. This is the bad thing lah. So what happens when you have high cholesterol? You're gonna get gallstone and jaundice. What is this? Gallstone is when you have stones in your gallbladder. Okay, in Mandarin you call it 胆结石. So jaundice is the hardening of your liver lah, which is not a good thing. Okay, you will not get jaundice immediately. First, you will get fatty liver. You will first get fatty liver first. And when you get fatty liver, the doctor says, hey, what's wrong with you? Have you been eating a fatty diet? If you say yes, the doctor will say, please stop eating fatty food. Please eat healthily. And then you just say, I don't care. Just keep eating. And then this fatty liver will slowly develop into jaundice, okay, which is a bad thing. Okay, so what is atherosclerosis? Which is this thing lah. That's the narrowing of your blood vessel. Can you see cholesterol build up around your blood vessel? So now your hole becomes smaller already. You increase your blood pressure. Okay, so if you have long-term high pressure, most likely your blood vessel is going to look like this. Okay, so cholesterol that accumulates and deposits on the inner artery walls cause the artery lumen to become narrow, like here. Okay, it disrupts or block flow of blood. Okay, so your blood cannot go through. And if one day this thing suddenly block, okay, nothing can go through, you will get either, if it happens in the heart, you get heart attack law. Okay, if it happens in the brain, you get stroke lah. Okay, see where it happens law. It depends on your luck lah. So that's why they say heart attack is like a ticking time bomb. You don't know when is it gonna happen, but when it happens, fingers crossed, you will make it out alive lah. So it very much depends on where does it happen. Okay, and depends on your luck too. Okay, so next step to avoid. So how do you avoid excessive cholesterol? Okay, you reduce saturated fat law. Okay, you try to change your saturated fat to unsaturated fat. Try to eat less butter, eat more margarine. That's according to what they say. Okay, eat less animal fats, eat more plant oil. Okay, so why Chinese? Okay, Chinese especially lah. Do you know Chinese get a lot of heart disease? You know why? Because we eat a lot of saturated fat lah. We eat a lot of pork. Okay, the pork is like one of the essential of Chinese, Chinese meal. Okay, margarine tak sedap. Yes, exactly. Okay, I think the same too. Okay, anyway, so also consume unsaturated fat, which lowers the cholesterol. Okay, what else can lower your cholesterol? What can clean your cholesterol? It's actually your fiber and exercise. When you eat a lot of fiber and when you exercise a lot, it's gonna clean off all these cholesterol built up in your blood vessel, which is a good thing. Okay, so don't think that fiber only makes you shit nicer. Yes, it does. It also helps you clean away your cholesterol build-up. Okay, so eat more veggies, okay, and exercise more. Okay, so I think I told you this before lah. How long do you need to exercise every day? You need every week. You need 150 minutes of exercise every week. Okay, 150 minutes of exercise, that's like 2.5 hours. That's like 30 minutes every 5 days. For 5 days, you need to exercise 5 days per week, and it needs to be 30 minutes every day. Okay, every session. Okay, not just walking, guys. It needs to be, you need to be panting, you need to be like, it needs to be challenging, okay. You don't just walk around your taman for half an hour and say, okay, that's exercise done for the day. If you really want your heart to be healthy, it needs to be high intensity exercise, okay, like running, swimming, okay, biking, anything that makes your heart rate increase. It makes you breathe heavily. 150 minutes per week. Okay, if you do that for every week, you're gonna have a healthy heart. You can easily live up to your 80s or 90s. Okay, now that's the recommendation of the AHA, American Heart Association. All right, so yeah, talking about this, I should talk about butter and margarine. Okay, butter versus margarine. So which is healthier? Okay, many people will say margarine is healthier because butter comes from cow. Okay, margarine comes from let's say planta lah. It comes from oil palm, okay, or your palm oil. Okay, so according to our knowledge from just now, okay, we know that cow one is saturated, palm oil is unsaturated. So judging by our common sense, we will think, okay, butter is less healthy because it's from cow. Margarine is more healthy because it's from palm oil. Okay, before you jump into that conclusion, it's not as easy as that. Okay, why do I say so? Okay, you see, margarine comes from palm oil. Okay, let me ask you, palm oil is palm oil is a plant, comes from plant, right? As you can see from up there, plants when they are in room temperature, they are in liquid. Okay, they are in liquid. They cannot sell you pure palm oil as margarine because it's gonna be liquid. Can you spread liquid on your bread? Yes, it's gonna be disgusting. Your toast is gonna feel wet. Okay, you're gonna have a wet sandwich. Ew. Okay, it's disgusting. So what do? To make your liquid become solid, they have to change some of the unsaturated fat into saturated fat. Some. Okay, see how hard they want to make the margarine law. If they want to make it very hard, they have to convert a lot of the unsaturated into saturated. So that's the thing. So when it comes to this, it's not so straightforward anymore. At least butter is natural. Okay, butter is natural. Butter is from cow. You don't need to do anything to it. It's already saturated fat. It's already natural. But margarine, we need to convert some of the palm oil into saturated. So this is actually processed food. Okay, so is natural better or processed better? That's very hard to tell. And when you convert some of that unsaturated into saturated, some of the fat will turn into trans fat. I'm sure you have heard of the word before. Some margarine, they will say zero trans fat. What is trans fat? Trans fat is a bad form of fat. It's even worse than saturated. Trans fat is known to cause cancer. Okay, so which is better? I don't know. It depends on you. Some scientists, they argue at least butter is natural. Some scientists, they say, yes, margarine is processed, but at least they have more unsaturated fat. So which is better? I don't know. But in terms of taste-wise, butter is much better. Okay, you try and fry rice with butter and see, you make nasi goreng, you put a big block of butter down there, your fried rice is going to taste awesome. It's going to smell awesome. It's going to taste awesome. Trust me, you go and try and see. Okay, so for me, I'm gonna go for butter because butter is simply better to eat. Okay, so you might say, sir, then you see butter got saturated fat. Well, okay, here's the thing. I don't care whether it's saturated or unsaturated. In the first place, you should eat less of it already. Right? I don't care margarine, how healthy it is compared to butter. You should eat it less as well because fat in the food pyramid, you should eat fats at the top, which is the least. Okay, so it shouldn't be your concern. Should you eat saturated or unsaturated? You should eat less fat in general. Okay, so as long as you eat less fat than other people, you'll be fine. You are healthy already. So you don't need to argue small questions like this. Oh, is butter or margarine better? Yeah, at this point, it's more of a taste preference already. Okay, like for me, planta is freaking disgusting. I don't know about you. Planta has this metallic, smelly smell to it. I don't know. like people order roti planta. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? How can you eat roti planta? It's so disgusting. It's so smelly. And if I eat some bread, sometimes you buy some bread from the pasar auntie, if the bread inside got planta, you're like, oh shit, this bread is gonna taste awful because planta has that disgusting smell. Okay, I see you agree. I don't know lah. Okay, this is a personal preference thing. Okay, like roti tissue with planta, it's absolutely sinful. I don't know. Okay, it depends on how you think. Okay, anyway, so let's look at your palm oil. Okay, so your palm oil is three parts. I believe you know this already. You have the pulp, which is the what is it called in BM again? Pulp. Okay, and you have the shell, the tempurung, and of course you have the isi rong, which is the kernel. Sabut, yes, thank you. Okay, the sabut and the isi rong. So it is the orange part and the white part that gives you the oil. Okay, the oil, the palm oil, the pulp oil is gonna give you the cheap oil. The kernel oil, the minyak isi rong is gonna give you the high quality oil. So that's why they need to separate this thing out. Okay, they need to process this thing separately. Okay, so for this part, you only need to memorize the extraction process. Okay, how do they extract? Untuk mengekstrakkan minyak sawit, how do they extract the palm oil? Okay, so there's like 6 steps here. Okay, 6 steps here. So very common sense lah, if you ask me. This thing will only come out in objective. So see whether you want to memorize it. Okay, it's okay. So the first one, sterilization. Sterilization is pensterilan. What is this? Basically is to kill bacteria lah. Okay, the first step in food processing, I don't care what you do, is about killing the germs. Okay, so what do they use? They use steam. Okay, which is steam lah. Okay, pada tekanan tinggi dan suhu tinggi. Okay, at high pressure, at high temperature to kill the bacteria and fungi. Okay, not only that, when you use steam, you kind of soften the fruit. Okay, you soften the pulp. Okay, once it softens, you can throw it into threshing. Okay, what is threshing called in BM again? I forgot again. So threshing is basically putting it into something like a washing machine. You know, a washing machine will spin, right? This thing is the same thing. This threshing will spin the palm fruit or penanggalan. Yes, okay, to tanggalkan the thing. Okay, it's called penanggalan. Okay, thank you. Wow, Adeline, you memorized everything. Good for you. Okay, so threshing is when you put the palm fruit in the washing machine thing, you thresh it around so that to tanggalkan the fruit. Because when you see kelapa sawit, it's one big bunch. You need to, it's like jagung. You need to separate all the small stuff out. So this is what you do lah. Okay, the oil palm fruits are detached from the bunch. Okay, ditanggalkan. And of course, next, digestion, pencernaan. That's when you cook the fruit to become softer. So oil palm fruit are reheated at high temperature and pounded by rotating beater arm to separate the pulp from the shell. So now I separate the orange part from the white part. Okay, because now I cook this part already. When I cook this part, when you cook fruit, the fruit is going to be soft. So the soft part will just separate out, and then the white part will be another side. Okay, because we need expensive oil and the cheap oil. Okay, so now separate into two. Let's look at the cheap first. The cheap one is the palm oil. Okay, minyak sawit. So the pulp is squeezed with a hydraulic spindle to extract the palm oil. Okay, they will actually press the thing lah. Okay, pengekstrakan. And of course, the kernel, it's more complicated. They need to steam it again. Why? Because they need to remove the shell. Okay, there's another tempurung here. They need to remove this tempurung. They need to tanggalkan this thing again. Okay, and then the same thing, they will press. Okay, you press the palm oil to squeeze the oil out. Okay, so you have the expensive oil and the cheap oil, and then of course you do filtration lah. Okay, penurasan. You have to filter out all the, you know, when you press the oil, you have like all the sabut stuff inside, some small stuff inside. You need to filter this thing. And of course, you need to purify this thing, okay, penulinan, by using activated carbon. What is activated carbon? This thing will absorb all the smell and color and acid, whatever that's bad inside the palm oil to make your palm oil pure. Okay, so now you have the expensive palm kernel oil, PKO, minyak sawit isi rong. Okay, and of course you have your palm oil, your minyak sawit, the normal one. Okay, so why do you need the expensive and the cheap one? The expensive one, they will sell it to you as cooking oil. Okay, so any cooking oil you buy from supermarket is gonna be the palm kernel oil. Whereas the cheap palm oil, they will use it for industry, where you need a lot of oil. You need a lot of cheap oil. For example, if you're making potato chip, okay, let's say you are making potato chip, you're a factory making potato chip, you need like thousands of kilograms of potato chip per day. So of course you're going to use the cheap oil, okay, because it just makes more economical sense. And many things like you see, it's mentioned here. You see, even your ice cream, your cosmetic, like your BB cream, your BB cream has palm oil inside. Okay, the cheap oil. You're not eating it, might as well use cheap oil. Okay, your soap as well. Okay, your candle, and so on. Okay, so 6 steps, memorize it. For me, I think it's a common sense. Okay, of course, you kill the germs first. Okay, you separate the fruit, you cook it soft, and then you press it, you filter it, you purify it. Okay, common sense. Okay, so next one, components of palm oil. Okay, you have your glycerol and fatty acid. This part, basically, you can read it yourself. Okay, you can read it yourself. They are not really important. Maybe if you want, you can read a little bit on the nutritional content. What's the nutrient inside palm oil? What makes palm oil so good? Because palm oil has vitamin A and E. Okay, vitamin A and E, which is good for your skin and good for fighting cancer because they're antioxidants. That's all. Okay, nothing really much to say here. Okay, the use, this is even more important. So I rather you read the use rather than these thing here. What is this chemical properties? What is oxidation, hydrolysis, and esterification? Yeah, that is not important. Okay, so next, let's look at your soap. This is for sure important, like I said. Okay, every year without fail in SPM, you will see soap. Okay, I don't care whether it's an objective, whether it's in subjective in your essay or whatever, you will for sure see soap. Okay, so your soap, what is a soap? Soap is a fatty acid salt produced through reaction between palm oil and concentrated alkali. So how do you make soap? You make soap by adding oil and alkali. Okay, oil and alkali. So what is alkali? This alkali you need to memorize one. You can use sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide. Okay, sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide. Hey, this thing, you can get it from Shopee one, you know. Okay, because I've heard people who make their handmade soap. If you are free at home, you want to make homemade soap, very easy one. You just need any oil. Okay, in this case, you will use palm oil, and you can get this alkali. Okay, you need alkali, which is this sodium hydroxide. You can get it from Shopee. One big can like this, around 5 kilos, will cost you around, I don't know, 100 something, I guess. Okay, you can use it to make many soap. So if that's your thing, you wanna make a handmade soap to give it to a friend or whatever. So this is what you do. Okay, so basically oil plus alkaline. Okay, any alkaline you want to use is fine. Okay, they will turn into your soap. Don't need to say fatty acid salt you can just say salt, soap. Okay, this, and then you will get glycerol. This thing is just a residue. Okay, the caesar, we'll just throw it away. Okay, we don't need the glycerol, just throw it away. Okay, so by the way, the process is called saponification. The process of making soap is called saponification. Something like your ester Okay, to make ester is called esterification. So to make soap is called saponification very easy. Okay, saponifikasi. So how does this thing work? Very easy. You just add your sodium hydroxide and oil together. You stir it and heat it. Okay, but here's the problem. You don't stop here because now you don't get soap. You get soapy water. You get soapy water. Air sabun. You don't want air sabun. You want sabun. Takkan you go to supermarket, you say you want to buy soap, or they say, oh sorry, we don't sell soap, we sell soap water. Here come, I sell you soap water. I don't want soap water. Okay, so what do? Now you need to separate the soap out. So what do? You add sodium chloride. What is sodium chloride? Basically salt no need so fancy one sodium chloride, no need just say salt Because you see, there's another sodium hydroxide here. I scared you get confused. Okay, sodium hydroxide, hydroxide is the alkali. Okay, salt is chloride. So just say salt. Just say salt. So what's the function of the salt? The salt is to separate the soap. Okay, untuk mengasingkan sabun dari air sabun, okay, dari larutan. So after you add salt, what will happen? You will see a white color layer float on the top surface. That's your soap that's your soap. So you filter it, you will get your pure color soap. Okay, your white color soap. Here's the thing, guys. Soap is really smelly. Okay, soap is a very smelly thing. So why does the soap you buy from supermarket smells nice? Because they put ester. Okay, because they put ester. Okay, whatever flavor you want, you want it in lemon, you want it in aloe vera, whatever you name it, they'll put it for you. Okay, real soap, pure soap is smelly. It smells like chemical. Okay, so that's your soap lah. So anything else I'm missing? Okay, let's go into our molecular components of soap. How does soap work? Okay, what makes soap useful? Okay, soap works by having this molecule. Okay, when you dissolve soap in water, you will see all these soap molecules floating around. Okay, they just float around. Okay, this is your soap molecule. Okay, so if you look at one of it, okay, your soap molecule, it has a tail and a head. Okay, the kepala and the ekor lah. Okay, the head and the tail. So the head, we call it hydrophilic part, or for simple, we just call it hydrophilic head. Okay, kepala hydrophilic, right? In the end, it's hydrophilic or hydrophilia, right? Okay, kepala hydrophilic, okay, hydrophilic head. What does it mean? Hydrophilic means water loving. Okay, means the head, they love water. And then the tail, it's called hydrophobic tail. Hydrophobic means water hating. Means this tail really hates water. You have a part that loves water and you have the part that hates water. So what will happen when you dissolve it in your water? So the soap will just float around. And if you look at your clothes, okay, let's say you're washing a piece of cloth. Okay, why do you wash your clothes? You wash your clothes because your clothes has been touching your skin. Your skin produces oil, right? So by the end of the day, your cloth has oil on it. So the oil is called grease. Okay, grease. In BM it's called grease. Okay, grease means oil lah. So when you have oil stuck to the surface of the water, the cloth is grease. Okay, so if you see this explanation, when soap dissolves in water, the surface tension of water reduces. This surface tension thing, ketegangan permukaan, don't memorize, don't care, it's not your concern. Okay, so what will happen? Since I said the tail hates water, right? The tail hates water, right? So when you hate water means you love oil. Because water and oil, they are not very good friends. They don't like each other. So what happens is the tails, all these tail, all these ekor, they will hide inside the grease. Okay, because they hate water, they see oil, oh, they're excited. They will hide inside the oil. Okay, the head will stick outside because the head like water. The head is hydrophilic, water loving. So they stick on the outside. They stay on the outside. So as you can see here, the hydrophobic part of the soap will dissolve in the greasy dirt, okay, melarut di dalam grease. Okay, whereas the hydrophilic part, okay, bahagian hydrophilic will dissolve in water, okay, melarut di dalam air. So now what do you need to do is you wait. When you wash your clothes, you put it in soapy water, you wait. Why? You wait for the soap molecule to go into your grease. Now, when you waited like 5 minutes, what do? You scrub and you brush. Okay, when you scrub it, you brush it, basically you agitate it, okay, you kacau the thing. Okay, so this soap molecule will pull the grease up. Okay, or you can straight away say here, soap molecule lift the grease. Okay, molecule sabun mengangkat grease. Okay, mengangkatkan grease. Oh, sorry, English one is grease. Okay, so mengangkatkan grease. I like this explanation more because it makes more sense. Okay, I don't like all this. You see, it says here greasy dirt dislodge. They don't use lift. It's just dislodge means they tanggalkan. Okay, dislodge to form greasy droplets. There's what was it? Okay, surrounded by soapy molecules. No need so mafan lah. Okay, you just say the soap molecule lifts the grease. Okay, so now the cloth is clean. No more grease on it. So it feels fresh, it feels clean. Okay, so when the soapy water is removed during rinsing, the greasy dirt also removed as well. So now the cloth is clean. Okay, can easy Really easy. So put more focus on the SOAP because SOAP is a very important part, as I said, that will for sure come out in exam. Okay, so focus, today our focus would be your saturated and unsaturated fat, and of course your SOAP. Okay, two very common part. So the bottom one, this sustainable management and importance of oil palm oil industry. What is this wastewater thing? Blah blah. Read this yourself lah. This is like a K-bar out of syllabus stuff. You want to read it, you read lor. Okay, I don't really care lah. Okay, so this electrochemistry I'll go into this next week lah. If you still remember what is this, okay, this is the scary, most scary chapter, isn't it? Next week I'll go into this, okay? If you still remember what is this, the kalau nak kawin mesti ada zakah fantastic supaya perkahwinan hari-hari cun dan aman. This one, I think we learned this like last year around July, isn't it? Okay, right after your MC, right when after we start our MCO lah. Okay, roughly around there. Okay, don't forget so Farah so naughty, she calls Brian idiot asshole. You still remember this. Okay, so anyway, let's go into our exercise. Okay, I'll try to discuss as many as I can today lah. So let's go to our, oops, sorry, I forgot to erase this. Okay, so let's go into our question 8. Okay, I cannot discuss all lah. If you want, you can go and do this yourself. Okay, most of it, I only discuss a few for you. So number 8, we are in page 6. Diagram below shows the process of making soap. As you can see, this is a beaker and a stirrer. Okay, so there's a coconut oil and solution X. Okay, and a Bunsen burner. So to make soap, how you memorize that? Oh, nice. Okay, you see, I tell you, this kalau nak kawin thing, you see, it's funny because I memorized it when I was Form 4 until now. This thing is still very fresh in my head. Okay, and that Farah so naughty, she calls Brian idiot asshole. You see, that's how you know your thing, you memorize it good because everyone says that, wow, it's good. Okay, so anyway, so your oil and solution X. What is the solution X? To make soap, you need oil and you need alkaline. Okay, but you don't just write alkaline here. They want you to suggest something for solution X. So that's going to be your sodium hydroxide. Okay, so for BM is natrium hydroxide. You want to say potassium also can lah. Okay, potassium lah. Okay, gallium lah also can. So that's 2 for you to choose. Okay, either sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide. Okay, it's gonna be the same. If you say, sir, if I want to make soap, will sodium hydroxide be better or what was it again? Potassium hydroxide. Which one is it gonna be better? They are gonna be the same. It's gonna be the same. Okay. If you are looking at your facial cleanser, you know the one you use to wash your face. Okay, I'm sure if you use your facial cleanser, it says then no soap. What does it mean by no soap? That means they don't add this. Okay, this thing is very harsh on the skin. Okay, very harsh. This is why when you shower, you only shower twice per day, right? If you shower 4 times a day, you see what happens? Your skin will get very dry because this sodium hydroxide is very good in removing oil. Okay, when you make soap using this, it's very good in removing oil. So showering, okay, when we wash our clothes, we want to remove as much oil as possible. That's a good thing. But when you're washing your body, when you're washing your skin, removing too much oil is actually not a good thing. When you remove too much oil, your skin gets very dry. When you remove too much oil from your face, your face can actually overproduce more oil. That's how you get pimple. So your facial cleanser, they don't put this thing. They will put a weaker cleanser, a weaker cleaning agent. So they only clean away some of the oil. They leave some behind. You are supposed to leave some of the oil behind. Okay, so that your skin stays hydrated and healthy. Okay, so name the process. This is your saponification. Okay, saponification. Saponifikasi. Okay, saponification. Okay, so next C. Complete the following equation. So coconut oil plus solution X, you will get soap, sabun, and you will get glycerol. Okay, glycerol. So this glycerol, you throw it away lah. It's like a byproduct. Okay, your products are pingan, you just throw it away. Okay, next D, 3 spatulas of sodium chloride, basically salt lah. Okay, are added into the solution. State the function of the sodium chloride. Okay, I just mentioned this. Okay, this is to separate the soap. Okay, separate the soap from the solution. Okay, untuk mengasingkan sabun daripada larutan. Okay, to separate the thing out. Okay, so E, how the soap is separated. Huh? What is question E? Repeated one. Okay, never mind, let's skip this question. How is it separated? I add salt law. What? Okay, I can say filter lah. Okay, you can put it through kertas turas lah, filter. Okay, whatever. Okay, next, let's look at number 9. Okay, question number 9. So diagram below shows an experiment to make soap. Again, so you have your coconut oil. Okay, you have your natrium hydroxide pekat, sodium hydroxide solution. So you add some, what is this? This is your salt law. So name the soap making process. So this is your saponification. Repeated our question lah. So substance Q is your salt. Okay, garam. No need to write sodium chloride. You are not taking chemistry, so no need. Okay, so number 2, what is the function of substance Q? Again, law, to separate the soap law. Write this yourself. Next, C, residue of this experiment is tested with moist litmus paper. Basically this. Okay, glycerol is tested with litmus paper. So you might say, sir, Daila, how do I know what is this? This is alkaline or acidic. How do I know? Never mind. You see, your soap is alkaline, right? Everything is going to be alkaline. Everything here is alkaline. Okay, so even you look at the question, you see red litmus paper. How do you test alkaline stuff? You use red litmus paper lah. It will turn from red to blue law. So does the color of red litmus paper change? Yes. Okay, or you say it turns blue. Explain your answer. You can say it is alkaline. Okay, here beralkali. Okay, or sisa tersebut beralkali. That's why you use red litmus paper. They already give you a hint here. You don't see blue because it's not acidic. Nothing is gonna happen. Okay, they also ask until like this already, you know something is gonna happen lah, right? So D, suggest one other example of substance to replace coconut oil. So besides coconut oil, what can you use? You can use palm oil. Okay, minyak sawit. Okay, palm oil. What else? Any oil lah. You can use sunflower oil, olive oil, but it's going to be very expensive lah. Okay, can you use olive oil? Yes, you can, but it's a waste. Okay, you're wasting money. Okay, you're putting on your body anyway. Okay, minyak kacang soya, yeah, can. Okay, soybean oil can. If you want, you can use pork fat also. Okay, your lemak babi, okay, lemak kinzi can. Your soap is gonna smell like pork. Okay, you shower with that thing, you're gonna smell like char siu. Hey, why not? You make a char siu flavored soap. You see, nowadays it's about creativity, what? Okay, like I see some cafe, you see now so many cafes, right? Some cafe, they try to stand out from the crowd. They say, oh, I make nasi lemak cake. Who the hell is a nasi lemak cake? Same thing lah. You make one soap law. Okay, you make a char siu flavored soap, pork flavored soap. Why not? Okay, it's about marketing only. What you put it on Instagram, you hire some influencer and do marketing for you. Maybe it will sell like hotcakes. Who knows? See, $1 million idea. Okay, anyway, number 10. Write the correct answer for the characteristic of saturated and unsaturated fat. Okay, your lemak, tepu, and tak tepu. So source, this is the unhealthy one. Okay, so this is from animals. So unsaturated is from your plant. Okay, so melting point, since this is solid, right? Okay, so it's gonna be high, high, tinggi, tinggi. It's gonna be low, low. Okay, so state, solid, pepejal, liquid, cair. Okay, so cholesterol content, this one is high, this one is low. So this is all you get your cholesterol. Okay, creative. Okay, anyway, so B, determine whether the following substance is saturated or unsaturated. So it just depends on where they are from. So number one, butter. Butter is from animal, animal is saturated law. Cheese is from cow, saturated. Palm oil is from your palm, so unsaturated. Palm tree. Chicken fat, saturated. Ghee, saturated. Corn oil, unsaturated. Olive oil, unsaturated. Meat, saturated. Sunflower seed oil, unsaturated. And sesame oil, unsaturated. Okay, next, moving on. Number 11. So this is the arteriosclerosis. So diagram below shows the changes that occur in a man's artery after a few years of practicing an unhealthy diet. So after a few years, the thing looks like this. So what is X? X is going to be your cholesterol. Actually, X is not the cholesterol. Actually, this thing we call it the plaque. Okay, this thing we call it the plaque. So it's actually not cholesterol. It's made from cholesterol, but the name for it is plaque. Okay, that's why I say plaque build up in your heart. So B1, what is the change that takes place during in the man's artery? So we can say what is happening here? Okay, it's the narrowing of the lumen. Okay, penyempitan lumen. It's penyempitan, right? Sempit, right? Okay, it's becoming smaller lah. Okay, penyempitan lumen. Okay, the narrowing of the lumen. So number 2, state one effect which is caused by the change occur in B1. So what's the effect? You are gonna have heart disease, okay, or heart attack, or you will get stroke. Okay, in BM is stroke lah. Thickening of the lumen. Lumen is not the wall though. Lumen is the lubang, so you have to use narrowing. Okay, because if you say thickening of the lumen, it's like thickening of the hole. Then that means the hole gets bigger, right? So it doesn't make sense. Mendapan cholesterol. Yeah, can. You want to say deposition of cholesterol also can? Okay, mendapan cholesterol. Okay, not just cholesterol. For A. Yeah, can also. So this thing guys, this thing is not just cholesterol. It's actually plus calcium also, plus some calcium, plus some blood clot as well. Okay, it's a mixture. Okay, that's why this thing okay, cholesterol is soft, but when cholesterol plus calcium plus blood clot, this thing becomes hard. This thing is hard. It's like your teeth. This thing is hard. You cannot just get rid of it. It's not as easy. Okay, so if this thing is very serious already, see law, you can go for either we call it an angioplasty. Okay, let me show you. You know, it's an angioplasty. If you are rich enough, you can go for this. Angioplasty. Basically, they will put a stent. Okay, what is a stent? Stent is like a net lah. Right? They put a stent and they make a balloon to, make your blood vessel bigger lor. This thing very awesome, very canggih one. They don't even need to open your heart. They just need to go in from the ketiak. They open a small hole here. They just put a very small straw into your heart, and then they just inflate the thing. Then you get this already. That's your angioplasty. Okay, this is the less serious one. If angioplasty can do, they will do for you. But if your blood vessel is so old, it's so hardened already, they cannot stretch your vessel already, then no choice. You have to go for a bypass. Okay, I'm sure you have heard of this bypass surgery. That's the bypass law. Means they make another fake blood vessel to bypass the cholesterol. Depends lah. If it's not so serious, it's gonna be a single bypass. You have double bypass, triple bypass, quadruple bypass. Quadruple bypass means you have like highway going around your heart lah. You have 4 tubes going around. Okay, so why do they get it from the leg? They will take a blood vessel from your leg and then they will put it to your heart. Because the leg one is not so important. So they just take one, put it in your heart. Okay, so it depends on, this thing is not cheap. Bypass surgery is not cheap. One bypass surgery easily costs you 30,000-40,000. Okay, you want to die or not? Okay, so if you don't want to die and you want to save money, don't eat cholesterol lor, exercise 150 minutes per week lor, eat more fiber lor. You already know one. Okay, you think those people who get heart disease, they don't know, man? You go and ask every heart disease patient, you see, do you know you shouldn't eat fats? I know. You know you shouldn't eat cholesterol? I know. Do you think do you know you need to exercise more? Yes, I know. Do you think you should eat more fiber? Yes, I know. Do you do any of it? No. You see, cannot write atherosclerosis. And number 2, they want the effect. The kesan disebabkan atherosclerosis. Okay, so one example of food that could cause the change, any food like butter lor. Okay, mentega. And then C1, what will happen to the heart if the condition above persists? So if this thing keeps going on, what will happen? Why are you asking this again? Heart disease or stroke lah. Okay, one way to overcome this problem, you can say eat less saturated fats. Okay, mengurangkan pemakanan minyak tepu. Okay, mengurangkan tepu or meningkatkan tak tepu. Increase unsaturated fat. You can actually go and do a blood test. You can go and do a blood test to test your HDL and LDL. Okay, if your HDL is higher than your LDL, by right, it's the ratio of 2 to 1, if I'm not mistaken lah. If you do a blood test, you did so if your HDL is okay, then that means you are healthy. So if you're healthy, if your HDL is twice your LDL, that means it's okay. Even if it's 1 to 1, your doctor will say, wow, your HDL is a bit low. But if your LDL is like sky high, your doctor will say, what are you eating? Okay, please change your diet. A bit high. What's a bit high? The LDL. Okay, if that's the LDL, then that means you need to change your diet a bit lah. You are eating too much animal fats. Or the cholesterol thing. Okay. So if it's a bit higher, that's not of a concern lah. Because you see, sometimes when we do blood tests, your cholesterol changes over time. Okay, your cholesterol changes over time. Okay. Anyway, so let's look at number 12 is the same thing lah. I'm gonna skip lah. Let's go to number 13. So name the stages in the extraction process. Oil palm fruit are separated from the bunch. So how do you separate the fruit? It's called threshing. Okay, penanggalan. Okay, so Q, the pulp is squeezed to get the oil. When you squeeze to get the oil, it's called extraction. Okay, pengekstrakkan. Okay, you love to eat chicken. You don't eat the skin lor. Okay, like me, most chicken I eat the breast, chicken breast. It's very dry lah, but for my gym purpose, for me being healthy, so I mostly eat the breast. Okay, Eat thigh, but don't eat. Okay, it depends on the way you cook it as well. Okay, don't fry lah. Maybe pan fry is okay, or stir fry is okay. Okay, the best is to steam lor. Okay, and don't eat the skin. Don't eat the skin. Or you can spend more money and don't eat the pasar chicken. You eat the kampung chicken, because kampung chicken usually they are naturally bred. Okay, they run around the kampung, so they are healthier. Okay, yeah, hard lah, cause it's all muscle ma. Healthier loh, more expensive loh. Okay, so next number R, the oil palm fruit are crushed by the digestive machine to separate the pulp, shell, and kernel. This one is the digestion. Okay, because I separate what. Then you see digestive machine. So this is digestion lah. Okay, pencernaan. Okay, so as steam is used to remove odor and eliminate acid, and they use activated carbon. This is your purification. Okay, penulenan. And then T, fruits are steamed to kill microorganisms. This is your sterilization. Okay, pensterilan. So arrange the process. So of course you do sterilization first, and then you do threshing. After threshing, you do digestion. After digestion, you extract, you press the thing. Okay, and then you do purification. Okay, there should be one more, which is filtration first. But sometimes they'll do it together lah. Okay, so that's the oil palm. Okay, Malaysia is one of the biggest export of palm oil. Malaysia and Indonesia, we export like 60% of the palm oil for the whole world. Okay, that's a lot of money. So Malaysia earn a lot of money from palm oil. Okay, so fill in the blanks by the nutrient content. So contains, like I said, this part is not important. Contains vitamin A and E. Okay, it has low cholesterol. Okay, rendah cholesterol. Contains fatty lemak tak tepung. Okay, contains unsaturated fats. See, not much to memorize one. Sime Darby, yeah, Sime Darby. One of it lah. IOI also. You know, IOI is famous for their oil palm plantation. Genting, they do some plantation too. Sime Darby used to be from UK lah, but now I think the biggest is it KLK if I'm not mistaken lah. Okay, one of the biggest is IOI. Okay, anyway, you know, I think I'm gonna stop here. So the remaining one you can go and do it yourself, finish it yourself. Unfortunately, I cannot do the soap one lah. There's too many questions really. Okay, so the answer will be as usual. It will be posted in Google Classroom. So if it is posted, I'll let you know. Okay, mostly is when we finish chapter 6 lah. Okay, so you can check it there next time. So that's it for today lah. I will see you again next week. Okay, so take care. Happy Wednesday. See you next week. Okay, bye-bye.